welcome back to another edition of Atomic Ambition, the podcast. This week we have Atomic Habits. Now, you might notice that I've kind of stolen a little bit from the name, from Atomic Habits to Atomic Ambition, because I really love this book. I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed this book the first time I read it, and I think I've read this book 3 times now. So it's one of those books that I've been back to on a few occasions, really because one of the things that I've always struggled with is achieving goals, reaching goals, which I think is quite strange. When I think back through my career, my life, I've always worked in environments, well, not always, but probably 70% of the time, I've always worked in environments which were very goal orientated. You know, sales, consulting, IT jobs, everything was sort of goal orientated. I was always given goals to achieve. Nobody ever told me how to achieve those goals. Nobody ever gave me any help or advice on how to achieve my goals. It was just, here's your goal, now go ahead and achieve it. I mean, I'm talking back when back in the 1990s when I started my professional career, really. You were given a goal. I think my first real job was in a sales environment. I had a monthly sales target to achieve. Yeah, no one told me how to achieve it. Just so you know, go and sell. You don't know. I was young and inexperienced. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was given a goal. And I thought, oh my God, I've got a goal. I've got to really, really work hard and achieve my goal. But yeah, I was always, when I think back now, I'm still always surprised that in those situations, nobody gave you any help or assistance or advice on actually how to achieve your goals. Okay, but this book does. And I don't think it matters what your goal is, you can get something from this book, from Atomic Habits. So let's just briefly go through my thoughts on my thoughts about this book. So there's quite a lot to take from this book. I'm going to focus on systems. The one big thing for me in terms of achieving goals is systems, and we'll come to that in a second, because there is a lot to take from this book. There's absolutely no way I can go through everything from this book. So let's just go through some of the key highlights for me. And the first key highlight for me is, how can I describe this? You are what you think. So it's not you are what you eat, it's you are what you think. And your self-talk, the things that you tell yourself about yourself, become true. So if you tell yourself you cannot do something, then you are basically creating an environment for yourself where you cannot achieve that thing. Self-talk is so important for everybody. If you tell yourself you cannot do something, if you tell yourself it's impossible for you to do it, you cannot do it, I cannot do it, you're never going to achieve it, because you're setting yourself up for failure. So that's one of the great things that he does highlight in here, is that you have to change how you talk to yourself about these things. So don't continue to tell yourself that you're a bad person, you can't do this, you'll never achieve that. You're setting yourself up for failure. I think we all know that, but deep down, we have these fears. We fear failure. And we're telling ourselves, oh, you'll never do it, it's going to be hard. And there's nothing wrong with a bit of hard work. There really isn't anything wrong with a bit of hard work. If you are like me, you've probably had many different jobs throughout your life. There's probably been times when you've literally had to really, really work hard to achieve what you want to achieve. There's absolutely nothing wrong with hard work. Yeah, hard work is good for you in all parts of your life, in all aspects of your life, professional and personal. Hard work is good, yeah, especially when at the end of that period of hard work, you feel like you've achieved something, yeah. So I want you to think about, changing how you talk to yourself, yeah, and being more positive about that. Yeah, that's just one thing. I mean, he talks about, James Clear talks in this book about sort of cues and responses to habits, which is very good. He also talks about the environment that you create for yourself, the environment that you create, and that does include self-talk, is one of the key influences in how successful you will or will not be. Okay. The next idea that we're just going to explore briefly is, I call it following the herd. James Clear in the book talks about social norms. What does society expect from you? What do the majority of people do? Now, there's clues there. If the majority of people do one thing, then there's obviously a good reason for that. But just because the majority of people do something doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you or it's going to help you achieve your goals. Okay? So, questioning the herd is another key element of this book for me. Don't just presume that because everyone else is doing it, it's a good thing and it will help you. Following the herd can actually make you fail. If it's the wrong thing for you, doing what everyone else is doing just because they're doing it makes it a stupid thing to do. Yeah, for the herd, the majority of the herd, leave them to it. But if it's the wrong thing for you, don't follow the herd. Okay, so there is a lot in this book. Let's get down to the main thing that I am taking away from this book is creating systems rather than aiming towards a goal. Okay, now I'm going to read the 4 laws. Okay, so the 4 laws: make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. Okay, let me go through those again. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. Now, that, if you look at it, is a system to help you achieve anything. It really is. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. If you want to achieve anything in your life, that is a great system to build, to put in place, to make it easy for you to achieve what you want to do. And it could be a simple thing like exercise. I have, over the past, I'm thinking about 3, 4, 5 months, put a system in place that makes it easy, attractive, and extremely satisfying for me to do the exercise that I really want to do. Okay. One of the things that I've wanted to do for a long time is podcasts like this, is create podcasts on YouTube. I've got my Substack, sharing these things. This is what I've wanted to do for a long, long time, but simply setting myself the goal of doing this has never worked until I put a system in place. It took some time to create the system. I had to sort of chop and change the system. It didn't work instantly overnight. I had to chop and change and work on the system. So you might create a system, but don't just stick with that system if it's not working. Sometimes you have to change things. Yeah. But now, I love making this video for you, for example. I loved writing the article that's going along with this video, which you can read on LinkedIn. It's something, I've made it obvious because I've made it who I am. I have started to tell myself that I am a creator. I am somebody. I write articles on LinkedIn. I create podcasts. This is what I tell myself every day. That's my self-talk in terms of this. So it's, for me, it's obvious what I have to do. Yeah, it's attractive. It's attractive because, well, I love doing it. It's creating. I'm just whittering into a microphone, sharing something about myself which might help you. That for me is an attractive thing to do. Yeah, so it's obvious because I tell myself every day. It's attractive. It's easy because I have a plan. I have a schedule. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, when I'm supposed to be doing it. So instead of just telling myself and giving myself a goal, it's now all planned and scheduled. It's easy. I don't have to think about it anymore. I know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. Is it satisfying? Absolutely. It's going to get more satisfying, I hope, as the years go, because I'm not going to just do this for a short time. This is going to be a forever project, hopefully. Yeah, it's very satisfying. I'm hoping it's going to get even more satisfying. That's my dream. That's my ambition. So that's really what I'm taking from the book Atomic Habits, is the 4 laws that he speaks about in the book are a system. It's a system to help you achieve what you want to achieve. And if you haven't read this book, go and buy it and read it. Yeah, learn the 4 laws. Learn about making it obvious, making it attractive, making it easy, making it satisfying. Think about how you can use those ideas in your personal life, in your business life, in all parts of your life to change your habits. Yeah. So no more aiming to achieve goals. If you have a system in place and you follow the system, achieving the goal is inevitable. Okay. So that's what I'm taking from this book, and I want you to take that from this book as well. So go and read Atomic Habits. If you've already read it, go and read it again, because you will take so much more from this book the second time, the third time, maybe even the 4th time you reread this book. Okay, that's all for today. So see you again next week.